Just days ahead of the parliamentary elections, hundreds of Tunisians took to streets in the country's capital against President Kais Saied. The demonstrations were organized by the political parties marginalized by Saied. First, by dismissing the Prime Minister and dissolving Parliament while granting himself sweeping powers since July last year. Protesters accused Saied of an undemocratic coup in the garb of holding of parliamentary elections on December 17th. Frustration continues to grow amongst Tunisians over the economic stagnation and political uncertainty with a divided parliament and an unstable government. The economy has been struck by the coronavirus pandemic and the spike in commodity prices, driven in large part by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The elections will be held on December 17th for a new, less powerful parliament, created by Said's constitution, which was passed through a referendum in July with low turnout. Opposition parties are boycotting the parliamentary elections. After protests toppled long-time dictator Zine El Abidine Ben Ali in 2011, Tunisia established a democracy that was quickly riven by factional infighting. Said's moves since July last year have raised fears that the only democracy to emerge from the Arab Spring protest movement is headed back to autocracy. Hundreds of people marched on the streets of Montreal, the host city of this year's UN Biodiversity Summit, demanding a strong new deal to protect nature worldwide. People dressed like trees, birds, and reflected on their disbelief in the Biodiversity Summit. Activists said that the UN summit could fail to meet the urgency of the issue. About 1 million plants, insects, and other animal species are poised for extinction. Now, on your screen, you can see people holding the signboards saying "Stop Genocide," which they are referring to the nature and to the indigenous groups who are trying and working hard to protect nature, according to the World Bank. Indigenous groups from about 5% of the world's population, and they safeguard about 80% of Earth's remaining plant and animal species. Delegates from 193 countries are at the summit, considering 24 targets, which include pollution cuts and protecting 30% of the world's land and sea by 2030. The summit will end on December 19th, and protesters are hopeful of a bill that can protect the biodiversity from extinction.